growing question marks over whether Meghan Markle faked this video with Princess Lilibet, which was the first time, by the way, that not just the world, but also her grandparents.
Something felt off. And well, now the world is talking. Meghan Markle's carefully crafted image just took a serious hit after a bizarre new video featuring her daughter Lilibet went viral. What should have been a sweet mother-daughter moment is honestly being branded creepy, robotic, and even staged.
Her uncles heard this precocious American voice. And the reason so many people are talking is because of Meghan's interview with Jamie Kern-Lima, where she says beautiful in quite an interesting manner. Lady C, watch this.
I love when things look beautiful. And even when you don't have a lot, you're able to make things look beautiful.
And then, of course, this was Lily.
What do we think, Lily?
I think it's beautiful.
Are you buying that this video is genuine? Because we had Samantha Markle on earlier in the week, and she says absolutely not. And even Thomas Markle, according to Samantha, has cast doubt on the authenticity, especially given that, because if we look at the Instagram pictures, the hair color keeps changing too.
Well, Dan, I don't like being speculative, and hair color can, in different lighting, look different. But these are games that Meghan enjoys playing to get people talking. I will say that there's nothing unique about a child sounding like its parent. I mean, my father could never tell the difference between when I answered the phone, whether it was me or mummy. So I'd answer the phone and he'd start to speak to me as if I were my mother. And I'd have to point out to him that I wasn't mummy. So I think there, in families, especially with the same-sex parent, there can be genuine parallels, and especially, I would say, with a narcissistic mother, the children are more inclined to ape her at every turn, because that is a safe way of protecting yourself against criticism from the narcissistic parent, who is always going to be punitive and always going to be perfectionistic and always going to be looking to snipe. So
because other people, Lady C, other people listened to that video and said that, I mean, let's listen to it once more, because they said that there was almost like an undertone of threat in the way that Meghan was speaking to Lily.
And today, royal insider Lady Colin Campbell isn't holding back. She's calling it exactly what it is, a chilling case of narcissistic parenting. So what's really going on behind the scenes? Buckle up, because this expose pulls no punches.
Let's listen once more.
What do we think, Lily?
I think it's beautiful.
Is that being unfair?
No, that I agree with. That I definitely agree with. I think, and I actually have commented upon this elsewhere already. I couldn't agree more. First of all, the way Meghan says it, it was so reminiscent to me of the way my mother would say things and the way we'd respond. That, and I mean, narcissistic mothers are great bullies, and they have you cowed and cued from very early on. And it doesn't, and the way Meghan said it, the way she asked the question, brooked no opposition or interference or anything but agreement. And Lily says, I said it's beautiful. So they've already done it before, and she is reminding her mother, I'm a good girl, mummy. And remember, those children call her mummy. Very few British children call their mothers mummy anymore. My children, for instance, call me mum. But Meghan, who's not British and who's snared and scorned the British way, has her children calling her in the old-fashioned way that, say, I called my mother mummy, and Harry and William called their mother mummy. It was a classical old-time upper-class thing that has died a death, incidentally, but clearly been revived in Montecito. But I thought, aside from that, which was a real time warp anachronism, I thought the underlying tone of that exchange was rather ominous. And I also thought and commented upon the fact that her interchange with Archie was also ominous. And there's an underlying threat of you better agree with me, and if you don't, and you better say what I want. And this comes across loud and clear. And to anybody who's had a narcissistic mother, I can tell you, they will say, my goodness, it's mummy all over again. She really should be clever and make sure she doesn't interact with those children, because in this, no matter what she does, she is exposing herself in much the same way that she thought she could bully her way at the palace and bully her way in California, and people would never find out about it. And they did, on both sides of the Atlantic. Despite years of denial, people found out. And the more interchanges and interactions that she posts with those children, is the more obvious it's going to be that she truly is a piece of work.
Let's start with the video itself. In what was meant to be a heartwarming promo, Meghan is seen speaking to Lilibet in a tone that, many viewers found unsettling. Clip audio. What do we think, Lily? Lilibet responds, I think it's beautiful. But that's where things get strange. The exchange doesn't feel natural.
And of course, you know so much about this, Lady C, from a personal level. I mean, your book about your mother, and I think we have the front cover here, was daughter of narcissist.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, you're speaking from personal experience here. You know how difficult that can be.
I am speaking from personal experience, and I recognize it, but I have to tell you, Dan, the comments, I have got thousands of comments from people on my channel who also experienced a narcissistic mother. And they have also said what I've said and what you, and the ominousness that you picked up. Yeah, it's so classical. I mean, it is just so classical, I can't tell you. But Meghan will never be able to conceal that, because the saccharine insincerity when she tries to conceal it will also be very evocative to all of us who have lived through the dire experience of having a narcissistic mother.
Absolutely fascinating. Now, Lady C, you speak about that moment where it's revealed to the world that the children call Meghan mummy, which she feels clearly uncomfortable about for all of the reasons that you'll suggest, given she wants them to be all American. But it's in this absolutely cringeworthy piece of, I guess, entertainment, set up entertainment, as if we're in some type of reality show like Big Brother, where the contestants get letters from home. But it's interesting because what Jamie Kern-Lima, the interviewer, is clearly wanting is to get a emotional reaction from Meghan, but it doesn't really go to plan. Watch this.
Love that your eyes are sparkling right now.
Oh.
You
have a letter from him?
I have a letter from your husband and your kids.
Oh,
It's actually from them
was this in the press also?
via
No, you
him.
did this?
Nope, no one's ever seen this before.
Okay.
And I would love to share it with you. And if you feel comfortable,
Is this from
if
this
you
morning?
share it with all of us.
Oh. From Archie and Lily via Papa. We love your cooking. We love your pancakes. And we love, love, love your hugs. You're the best mummy, and we love you. So sweet. I also love that it's mummy, which is very British instead of
Very
mommy.
British.
Oh, yeah, they're the greatest.
You know, and so it's kind of fun reading that to you about just how much he supports you and how proud he is with everything he's doing with Invictus
Yes.
Games and all the projects he's so passionate about. What are the best ways that you support him that he needs with all of those?
You know, I think a lot of it is being a soundboard, especially because I don't read media or press.
Yeah.
I'm a good barometer of just sometimes maybe just a very removed point of view because I'm only looking at it through the lens
ladies,
of
I actually can't bear
loving him.
anymore. I can't bear
What's
anymore.
in
I
his-
can't bear the voices of those two women. I'm sorry. But I played it, Lady C, because obviously you were referring to the mummy line. But the whole thing is absolutely bizarre, isn't it? Because Jamie Kern-Lena, she does get the tears from Meghan a little bit later on, but there's just zero emotional connection when it comes to that letter.
It feels rehearsed. Lilibet's voice comes across robotic, overly polished, and honestly eerily similar to Meghan's own speech patterns. Even Thomas and Samantha Markle have cast doubt on whether the voice was even authentic. Enter Lady Colin Campbell, royal commentator and author.
But the Meghans of this world can emote, but they don't actually experience, So that's one of the signs of narcissists, especially narcissists with sociopathic tendencies. I think South Park did it very well when, at the end of it all, Harry opened up the Meghan character and it was empty. She's very adept at projecting acts, but she doesn't convincingly ever project emotion because she doesn't have emotion. This is one of the problems of people who have to endure the lacunae and the personality flaws that she has actually been condemned to live with. I mean, to an extent, we can actually even cut her a degree of pity, not sympathy, pity. But this is a woman who is going through life, never really feeling deep emotions, but pretending that she does. And, oh, so I'm going to show you how loving I am. I'm going to show you how this I am. But when the crunch comes, she can never respond naturally. And I think that's what we are picking up.
Well, of course, because everything in the independent media space is about authenticity, and she has none of it, which is why she should never have gone into it. Actually, weirdly, she was most protected, both as an actress and a member of the royal family. Lady C, I did think you'd be interested, though, in how many times Meghan was spotted touching her nose at the Time 100 event. Do you think she was suffering from some sort of illness? A cold,
well,
maybe.
No, she can't be suffering from a cold because this is a chronic feature of her mannerisms. It's one of her most pronounced mannerisms. It indicates that this is somebody who has issues with her nasal passages. Also, people who lie will sometimes comfort themselves with touching around the nasal area. But I don't think that's why she does it, because I think Meghan has displayed sufficient sociopathic traits for me to safely conclude that she would be very unlikely to be discomfited by any lie she was telling, which is, funnily enough, one of the ways that you can tell a true sociopath, because a neurotic, even a psychotic, might be will feel some guilt when they're lying. A sociopath feels none. So I think when people touch their noses, it's because they are either neurotic or just ordinary, and they know they're lying, or they're deceiving, or they're spinning. When she touches her nose, I think it's most likely because her nasal passages require some mopping up.
Yes.
And
well, we know she's spun a web of deceit. So if that is connected, then it makes a lot of sense.
Who's, well, known for calling it like she sees it, and she sees red flags all over this video. Lady C points to Meghan's tone, overly sweet, but with an edge. There's no room for disagreement, only praise and obedience. She compares it to her own experience growing up with a narcissistic mother, where children learn early to mimic and please to avoid punishment. Her warning: this isn't parenting, it's performance. And Meghan's insistence on using the word mummy, a very posh, very British term, despite her supposed disdain for British traditions. Pure image control. If you're tired of media fluff and want raw, unfiltered royal commentary, smash that subscribe button right now. We're diving deep every week and we're just getting started. So what do you think? Is Meghan Markle a mother under pressure? Or is Lady C right about something more sinister lurking behind the smile? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Is this just another royal media moment? Or the clearest sign yet that the cracks are showing? Because one thing's for sure, when perfection is fake, the truth eventually leaks.